Golden State wins 3 out of 4. Cleveland gets to the finals all 4 years, but they just cannot get it done against Golden State. And it's basically because there's not help for LeBron James, which is why I think he's moving on. He hasn't said so. But it's going to be interesting to see where he ends up. There are a lot of teams that would like to have him. I think it's a mistake for a lot of teams to bring him in my opinion. Like Philadelphia, good young team. I think everything defers to LeBron, which is why I wouldn't mess with him there. But Paul Zeise, I know you're anxious over there, Will, but Paul, I want to get your take on this. Where do you think he'll end up, and tell me why?
I think LeBron James is a corporation, or at least he's become a corporation, and I think that for marketing purposes and all the other stuff, where do you want to be? L.A. So to me, the Lakers make the most sense. He goes and gets somebody like Paul George to go there with him. Top dog on the team. Like if it goes to Houston, I mean, he's got to share the ball and he's got to share the spotlight with 2 other guys. I think L.A. makes the most sense.
I mean, for me, Philly is much more intriguing. I mean, they have to defer to LeBron, but the great thing about LeBron is great at deferring to his teammates. And then there, if you got Embiid and Ben Simmons, it's much easier for LeBron to do his job. And I think the path to the finals is much easier in the East. I think if he goes to L.A., he owes Cleveland nothing. It'd be kind of cool if he stayed just as tribute, but, you know, he owes them nothing. If he wants to win more titles, I would go to the Sixers.
I think that, as Pomp has pointed out before, I think that stunts the Sixers' growth, specifically Ben Simmons. But I think, you know, Houston doesn't make sense to me. L.A., look, he can go to L.A. and he can win titles with the Lakers. Whoop-de-doo. I'll be honest, that is to his legacy, in my opinion. Because
if he keeps winning, it hurts his legacy?
Yes, it does, because he goes off to L.A., he takes Paul George with him, great. You go assemble another great cast around yourself, LeBron, and go win another title.
But that's what they do in the league. That's how it's done.
Well, then I guess that's look, it doesn't do anything for LeBron overall in his case as the best player of all time if he has to go off to L.A. and attract someone to go with him to win there. I don't think he owes the Cavs anything either, Will. I agree in that case. But I think him running off to go find the perfect place to go win titles all the time, it does. It's a shot to his legacy, and I don't think it makes sense.
I think it's a shot to the Cavs management. They couldn't get the guys they needed for them to be the one winning 3.
Well, here's the problem. He needs to give up this role as de facto GM and de facto head coach.
Well, if
he does that, if he allows the Cavs to go out and get a legitimate GM and a legitimate head coach, so Ty Lue doesn't forget how many timeouts are left at the end of regulation, he can have somebody who can actually help him and help a team win a title, as opposed to him trying to do all of it on his own.
But here's the other thing. I don't think that he's title hunting if he goes to L.A. I think it's a business decision, and I think it's 100% about his business and his corporation getting, you know, the exposure they need, the marketing, and all the other stuff that they need.
And if that's the case, I think we close the argument LeBron as to who's the greatest of all time.
I mean, for me, what he should do, stay in Cleveland, take $1 million a year. You don't need the money.
Build a team around it.
You can get whoever the heck you want.
That team, though, has some really, really bad contracts. They don't have a lot of flexibility. If he wants to build a team around him, he's got to go somewhere else. Unless they can find
straight off the bad contracts, the teams that want to rebuild and are looking for expiring contracts.
If you can find somebody to take those contracts off your hands, you deserve GM of the year no matter what you get back for them.
LeBron had a lot to do with what's on that team right now, so that's why he shouldn't be dabbling in that, in my opinion. But hey, he can do whatever he wants because he's the king of the league right now. We'll see what happens, even though his team lost in the finals. We'll be back more right after this on KDKA-TV.